We are well into the summer season, and with that, I've accumulated another haul of books. Let's take a look. Hey everyone, welcome back to the next chapter. My name is Christopher Navo, and I'm going to be your host. If this is your first time joining, thank you for stopping by. I do appreciate it. Please leave a comment. Let me know what you think of the content. Today's video is going to be a little bit of light, a little bit of fun. It's going to be my summer book haul. So the last time I did a book haul video was back, of course, in spring, and that was in April. And I've accumulated a lot of books since then. You know what? Without any further ado, let's get started because this is a pretty good size list. So this first stack are books that were provided to me by the author themselves. I usually make sure I pick books that I know I'm either gonna like, that kind of fit my interests, or were kind of on my TBR anyway. So yeah, a majority of these are self-published books, which of course I always want to promote regardless. I do tend to be a little bit choosy on which books I say yes to. I mean, like I said, they have to be something that appeals to me and the genres that I like to read from. So this first one, I don't have a physical copy for. There was a shipping issue, but the author is kind enough to resend it back out. Unfortunately, I won't have it in time for this video, but I did wanted to give it a call out. And that is The Tribe of Accord, Adira's Journey by Sean Stone. It takes inspiration from The Hunger Games, Horizon Zero Dawn, the video game, Clan of the Cave Bear, and She Who Remembers. The only one I'm not really familiar with on that list is The Hunger Games. I did see the movie, but I never read the book. But the mixture of Horizon Zero Dawn and Clan of the Cave Bear especially, that sounds really kind of cool. So a little bit of the blurb here is Adira knows only life alone in the wilderness with her father Torian. Surviving the wild is bearable with him. That's until a mysterious clan known as the Ursa abduct him. On the run from the aggressors, she must flee to unfamiliar lands and put her survival skills to the test. Along the way, she forms friendships and joins a tribe in the hopes of finding her father. Will she conquer the challenges set before her to become a member of this society and rescue Torian? Or will the terrifying Ursa clan bring doom to them all? So the next book up on I have here is a science fiction book, and this is by Brian Wilson called The Forsaken Planet. And a little bit of the blurb here is, when mysterious aircraft wreak havoc across Earth's skies, it is revealed that there are clusters of other planets where humankind resides. Distant worlds where the people wield the power of the stars themselves. It is an energy force that can bring about miracles, or, as the alien fleet's ruthless leader displays, unleash horrors beyond imagination. Next up we have Heliotrope by Palmer Pickering. Now, I already had this book on my SPFBO 9 TBR. That is linked above if you want to see the whole list of SPFBO 9 books that I wanted to read for that contest. This again was provided to me by Palmer, and what I'm surprised at is how thick this one is. It's gonna be a nice, great read for the later part of this summer. And a little bit of the blurb here is we have Talio is a retired soldier descended from mages who were cast out of power generations ago. After years of war and sorrow, he wants nothing more than to live a quiet life on his farm and work his stonemason craft. Theo is working on a stone mosaic for the queen of the castle when he finds himself in the middle of a coup. This launches a journey to protect his new family, uncover the secrets of the ancient ways, and reclaim the magic of the mages. Then next up, we have another SPFBO entry here. And this book was provided to me by the author, Gregory Contaxis, The Return of the Knights. And a little of this blurb here is, the Palace of the Dawn will soon be stormed. The most ruthless man of all time is one step away from assailing on the Love Bridge and dethroning Sophie Delamere, the Queen of the Night Dawn. He is now alone, with neither allies nor an army capable of rebuffing the enemy, which is approaching her city. Everything appears to be over, until a mysterious young man, Elliot, makes his appearance. This next book, The Dryad's Crown, and again, that's by David Hopkins. It came with the book. It came with a cool little print of a dragon, and he writes on the back, "Chris, I'm really enjoying your YouTube channel. Great insights and well delivered." Thanks, David. That's pretty awesome of you. And thank you for sending me the book. There also came with it a little pin. And then a little bit about this book. Silbray returns to the port city where she was first taught to kill. While there, she discovers that there is more to her troubling past, something magical and foreboding, far beyond the familiar cobbled streets. Will she take revenge against the cruel guildmaster who trained her, or is mercy even an option? What begins as a fairy tale transforms into a sweeping epic adventure about love and loss, and a woman with a strange connection to the natural world. And then the last book provided to me by an author here is Thralls of a Tyrant God, Book 1 of the God Engine Trilogy by Mars G. Everson. And a little bit about this book. In a world ravaged by a cataclysmic event and ruled by forces, San and the Herald of the Lord of Greed rises to power by helping others escape the aggressive city of the hub. But when he is betrayed by his own god and left for dead in the desert, Sen must confront his past and seek out a new source of power in order to take down the Forever King and his chain keepers. Along the way, Sen is forced to grapple with deeper questions about survival, love, memory, and kindness in a harsh world. And then this next group is just some random self-published books I picked up that, again, sound interesting to me. And to begin with those, we have Alex C. Pierce, The Blood of Crows. For one, this is a really beautiful book cover, so that kind of immediately drew me in first, and then I read, of course, the blurb and was like, yeah, it sounds really good. So we have Ren, a state-trained thief, working in a world where everyone has magical ability except for him, doesn't kill people. Tensions are already high in the walled realm of Lendamar, and when the nobility start dying with no trace of magic there isn't from their victims, Ren immediately becomes the prime and only suspect. Hunted by magic-eating inquisitors and the captain of the Royal Guard, his life becomes one of flight and fear through a realm on the brink of civil war. All Ren wants to do is stop a serial killer, clear his name, find his mentor, and protect the people he cares about. So this next book I saw featured on Chris and the Fictional Escapist's channel, and that is The Fangs of War by E.J. Dobble. And this is the Blood and Steel Saga Book 1. And this one reads, on a silent shore in a distant land, the world was coming to an end. After the brutal execution of Provence's king by the roving forces of Taraz, a new military government vaults into power with the nefarious Alvarez at the helm. Hell-bent on bloodshed and the glory of Imperial Pass, he amasses the largest army seen in a generation and plunges the two nations into a bloody war against the will of the godlike being known as the All-Mother. So next up, I have a really beautiful hardback edition of Crown of Madness by Ryan Beatty, and this is the Blood and Steel Saga Book 1. And this one reads, The Order of the Grim Hunt, a group of dedicated to the hunting and slaying of monsters, works to preserve the world and its inhabitants from the creatures of the dark. But what happens when the people become worse than monsters? So this last book I want to mention, I mentioned in my last video because of its beautiful cover, and that is Renia Luna Ruinum, Volume 1 by Carl Forshaw. Again, just a beautiful book. This one I was probably the most excited for from my summer haul. All these books look enjoyable, but just for the sheer beauty of this book, this was a nice surprise to open. Black spray painted edges, just an awesome addition to the bookshelves. So this last set of books is my purchases I made for myself. These are all traditionally published books. And the first one I was really excited to get, and that is Blade of Dream by Daniel Abraham. This is book 2 of the Kithamar trilogy. Really excited to get back into this series. I read Age of Ash earlier this year, so I was really excited to see that this was coming out later this year. This is definitely going to be an August read for me. And then this next book, I've seen talked so much in the booktube circles for just its uniqueness, and a lot of people seem to give it a good praise and a lot of good meaning, and that is Piranesi by Susanna Clark. So this is a nice hardback edition. This is a book that I've been looking forward to getting into. It's not very long, it's not very big, so definitely something I can probably squeeze in, between some of the larger reads that I have going on. And then this next set of books, I am part of the Broken Binding subscription list, and so the first set of books I got from them are the R.J. Barker books, and that is here's like the first one, and this is the Tide Child trilogy, and so you have the Bone Ships, then you have the Call of the Bone Ships. And then you have the Bone Ships Wake. I love nautical fantasy, and this was just a really cool set to start off with. Again, I'm a big sucker for black spray paint, but the sides of it is really cool too, because it does create a scene. Hopefully you guys can see that. And so, yeah, I was really excited to get part of the subscription list to Broken Binding. I am technically a little bit of a book collector. It could be an expensive hobby, but, I don't have a lot of other expensive hobbies. I lie because I do. But, hey, it's better than a lot of other things I could be spending money on. And then the last book I want to share with you guys is, speaking of Broken Binding, is the July subscription book. I haven't opened it up yet, so I'm going to do that here live on the camera. And I know what the title is because there's a sticker on the front, but let's see what it looks like. All right, so we have The Wolf of Orin Yarrow. That is by K.S. Villoso. Beautiful book cover, of course. It went with a brown spray painted edges. It definitely looks like it's going to be building another spine scene, or at least open book part of it will be playing a scene. And that is the first book to this series. So yeah, we'll see. I don't know anything about this book whatsoever. And you know what? Let's keep it that way, right? And that's it for my summer book haul. Have you read any of these? Do you want to read any of these? Let me know in the comments. My name is Christopher Navo. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. And I hope to see you in the next chapter. Take care.